Alright, gonna wax the car today. I just washed it about 20 minutes ago. I pulled it in here, wiped all the water off, and I let it dry. Let's do a quick walk around so we can get a before and after. Ignore all the water spots in the glass. Still need to clean that. I plan on doing 2 coats of wax. Paint still looks pretty good for it being, what, 40 years old? Well, after 2 hours, which is 2 coats of wax, this is what we've came up with. Let me know if you guys see any difference. I decided not to use a polisher because I did not want to take the chance of messing up the paint. In my opinion, it looks a lot better. Definitely more of a shine. You can really see it on the hood from back here. And you can feel the difference. When I was doing it, you could feel the paint, and then you could feel where I waxed, and you could feel that it was a lot smoother where I had waxed, and where it kind of felt like you were dragging your hand on the old paint. But no, it turned out really good. It's probably the first wax that it's had in at least 20 years, if ever. This 40-year-old paint looks better than paint that's 20 years old. Look at that reflection. Trees and stuff. Let's see, I cleaned out the interior a little bit. I cleaned some of the door panels as well as I could. Listen to this door shut. Now, I know the seat cover makes the seat look terrible, but it's been on there ever since it was brand new. I plan on leaving it because I don't really care how it looks personally. It's still serving its purpose. It's still protecting the seat. As we can see underneath the seat looks brand new. It looks just like the rear seat did. So it's still doing its job. So that's just how I'm gonna leave it. I just have some floor mats in it right now because obviously I want to protect the carpet as much as possible. Now, if we look at this driver's door panel, we can remember how it was really black and greasy and dirty from just years of use and dirty hands. I got it about as clean as I could get it with some Windex and a rag. Same goes for the steering wheel. Let's just fold this back down. Oh, I might actually have to take this one off. Looks like one of the ties broke. Let's get in here. That dinging will stop. Now, 57,893. So go back to the first video of this car and subtract whatever mileage this is. That's how many miles I put on it. Probably less than 1,000. Beautiful clock, right on time. Beautiful stereo, all the buttons are nice and tight, hardly been used. The air conditioning should work, but I have the belt off of that pump because, you know, it was 40 years old, it was worn out, the belt. Real good oil pressure. If you go back to the first video, you also remember how I had the oil pressure problems. Cool thing for this gauge, I did not have to drill any holes. I just removed an old Phillips screw and put the Phillips screw right back through the bracket, and that's how I have that mounted. And I believe I did the same for over here on the temperature gauge, because I did not want to molest this car in any way. I want to preserve this car for as long as I can. Look at that passenger door panel, just absolutely beautiful. I like the manual crank windows. I do need to do a better job of cleaning the window and the windshield. The water around here is real hard. It leaves a lot of water spots, and it is quite hard to clean off. I will probably end up replacing that rearview mirror. You see all of the delamination going on. And I would like to see what's causing that stuff. Other than that, the car's in perfect shape. I can probably get some type of dye to at least make that better, or just leave it alone because I'd probably make it worse. But I would like to figure out why it had been doing that. I don't think any of that is new. But again, look at the paint with that reflection. It's almost like you're looking at a picture. So I would say the wax definitely did its job. It's real hard to keep it clean because we live on a gravel road. But if I don't drive it much, it should stay clean, and I'll just have to wash it. You know, most times I take it out and keep giving it coats of wax. Yeah. But no, this car has really turned out quite nice. If we remove this cover over here, we see the seat is, again, in just absolutely beautiful shape. Same goes for the armrest. I would like to actually cover up the armrest, you know, to keep it from getting dirty. Do you notice how quiet it is inside the car? Just what a beautiful car. Now, earlier I had changed the transmission fluid. I did the filter. I topped it off, and I changed the power steering return hose because it was 40 years old and cracked and it was leaking. Another thing that I have noticed while I've been driving the car is the steering column has been making a little bit of noise whenever you turn it and on bumps and stuff. So I want to probably end up replacing a steering column bearing. You can kind of hear it. See? Whenever it moves, it makes that little bit of noise. I don't like that because everything else is quiet. You notice you don't hear any rattling or thunking around. Being a sedan car, it really does good off in the grass. I think it'll make it up that hill. It's quite steep. Well, let's get out and have a look. Just a beautiful picture. And you see how steep that was? It's real hard to tell on camera, but that's like massively steep. Yep, just want to keep this car as nice and clean as possible. Four-year-old paint really shines up well. Very few imperfections. This is about the main imperfection on the paint. That right there. Other than that, the driver's side just has that little mark that we know about. I will replace this lens. That happens. Well, that's about enough time up here on the hill. Let's go ahead and drive it down the hill and put her back. Backing up so I can make the turn to the left. Still hear that steering column I'm talking about. That'll be a project for the future. For now, it's fine. I think this car identifies as a four-wheel drive truck. Just going nice and slow. Not gonna break anything. And there we have it.